Heidi ho there, my lovies. Welcome back to Crazy But Not Dangerous. I'm Shorty Vaughn, and I'm super glad to be with you today. Happy Saturday. You made it through your week. Hot, diggity, yippee skippy, and super duper. You did it. Yeah. Anyhow, we've got New Year's coming up, and I am super excited about tonight's dish because I think that this would be a great, easy dish to serve for New Year's. It includes cabbage, which, said to bring you good fortune throughout the year. It's also super healthy and super delicious. We're going to be using a pork smoked sausage, and pork is very traditional New Year's food. Also said to bring good luck and good fortune through the new year. This recipe is super adaptable. So I'm going to be making it with the things that I have on hand. But you don't like pork? Get yourself a nice chicken smoked sausage. You don't eat meat, you're vegan, that kind of thing. They have some delicious plant-based sausages. Yeah, absolutely. There's a nice andouille sausage over at my Albertsons that I've gotten before. It wasn't in my budget this week, but might be in yours. And maybe your grocery store has it. Maybe you've got a Whole Foods or a Sprouts or something like that where you can pop over and get yourself a nice plant-based sausage. Other than that, the whole thing is going to be nice and vegan. Yep, if you see Andrew in the background, he's just cleaning his shop still. He's still working on it. I'm so proud of him. Yeah, we're not going to be on hoarders. I'm thrilled. I've got to call on the 2nd and schedule a pickup for, his stuff so that they can come take it away for his cast-offs. Yeah, super thrilled about that. Let's get down to dinner because I'm hungry. So I have some leftovers that I still need to go through. I still have a little bit of the chopped tomato. We're going to use all of that. I have a kielbasa, a smoked kielbasa that I got at the dollar store in those big family packs. There's 3 of them in there for $3.99. That was a great deal. Anyhow, I've gone ahead and repackaged them because we, as a family of 3, 1 will suffice for us. Got an onion, got a bell pepper, and I've got half of a head of cabbage. Now, I always keep my cabbage wrapped up in aluminum foil. There's some kind of chemical reaction that happens between the aluminum foil and your cruciferous vegetables that keeps them nice a really long time. So this has been in my refrigerator, for like 2 weeks. I know. We're going to open it up and see what it looks like. I am confident that it is going to be absolutely delicious. Yeah, this really works. It saves money because you're not wasting so much, You're not wasting that. I didn't have to go out and buy a new cabbage. And I am okie dokie with that, babies. All right, so those are going to be our primary ingredients. Let's go ahead. This is going to be a skillet meal. So I am going to go ahead and turn my skillet on to about a 6. Have a little bit of olive oil. And I'm just going to give my pan a few sprays. Maybe that's a tablespoon. Maybe. All right, and we're going to start off with my onion. Let's go ahead and get that going. And I just park my items over here for a minute. I'm just going to give this big half moon slices because I want this to be pretty significant. I want it to be substantial. Yeah, so just about that big. How you cut your vegetables? Yeah, I don't care. How you feed your family? Just as long as you're getting it done, baby. Gordon Ramsay don't care. He's not coming to my house for dinner. He's probably not going to show up at yours. But if he does, make him some iced tea. And, yeah. And he won't care what you're serving or how you cut your vegetables. He'll be a delightful dinner guest. I am positive. All right. So there we go. All chopped up. No sweat. Just going to go ahead and put those right on in there. And this one. This, got a pink handle. Feels lucky today. I'm also going to go ahead and cut up a green bell pepper, whatever color rocks your boat. Everybody's got their favorites. Oh, I've got the little pig dog here. Pigpen, are you hungry? You ready for some yums, baby? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you woke up from your nap hungry? Bless your heart. He's been snoozing all day. It's a little bit overcast here today. It's not all bright and sunny, and I love an overcast day. We don't get very many. We get about 320 some days of sunshine. So on a day where we've got a little bit of cloud cover, yeah, I'm all right with that. It's different. You know, variety. It's the spice of life. Oh, yeah. One of my lovelies, I love to cook onions. One of my lovies said that when they first got married, that they were given the advice to cook onions, and it would always smell like home right before your spouse got home. Anyhow, I think that's good advice. I know I put the onions on, and everybody comes alive in this household. They want to know what I got going on, what's for dinner, when's dinner. When I was growing up, if you asked my mother what was for dinner, or my father, since he was often the cook, my dad would always say fish heads and rice, and we never knew, because it could sometimes be fish heads and rice, which is absolutely delicious. But we're not making that today. We might make that another day. Yeah, my mom worked outside the home, which was kind of uncommon back then for women to work outside the home. My dad was a disabled veteran, and he stayed home and raised children. There we go. I just cut these into strips. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it one bit. Gonna get a little color on these. Get these all translucent and delicious. Yay, hooray. Oh, it smells good. Looks fantastic. Yeah, get a little color on those. Get those all translucent. Get all the smells going. Yeah, so my mom worked outside the home. My dad stayed home and raised children. And did a pretty decent job, in my opinion. And so oftentimes he was the cook. And this is my sausage. I think it looks good. It's going to taste even better. This is going to be my salty point in my dish. So you're not going to see me add a lot of salt. But, you know, you add as much as you want, baby. If we weren't on a low sodium diet, I would add some of that Tony Chacher's, the Cajun seasoning. That would be absolutely delicious. I might add a little bit of spice to it. So my dad made dinner. He took care of kids. He ran us around town. He was a sit in the car and wait for you kind of dad. You know, you'd pull up somewhere and he'd be like, all right, well, go on in there and do what you need to do. And he would sit in the car and listen to talk radio. Yeah, he listened to KTAR. That was our talk radio station. And our car only had AM radio. So we drove a great big Country Squire station wagon with the doors on the hatchback. It was green. It had the wood paneling. But when you have 9 kids, that's what you drive. Well, at least back then. Anyhow, and he cut all the seat belts out of it. Because when you have 9 kids, there's not enough seat belts back then for all the kids. And how do you pick and choose who gets a seat belt and who doesn't? Well, you even the playing field and you cut them all out. And y'all just learn to hold on to one another, you know. My parents were experts at the arm. You know, Dad slams on the brake, his arm goes out, my mom's arm went out, you know, to keep you from flying through the windshield. you know, we didn't know back then. Yeah, they didn't know. Got that all cut out. This dish is super quick, super easy, and super, super delicious. Got my cabbage. Gonna go ahead and give that a good old chippity chop too. I'm gonna cut out the pork because nobody wants to eat that. And I will just go ahead and put that in my compost pile for later. And then I'm just going to go ahead and chop this baby up. So yeah, I'm one of 9 kids. I have 5 older sisters, 2 younger sisters, and a younger brother. And we're not all together anymore. We've lost some over the years. So, yep. Yep, but they're with me. They're with me every day. Especially my little brother. Let me tell you, every time the hummingbirds are chasing each other all over the back, yeah, I think about him. Yeah. So, they're still with us. You just gotta look. What did I do today? I had a little experiment. Sometimes I like to try things. Ooh, it's ready. It's ready for the kielbasa. Let's get that all in there. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit to a 5. If you're using a plant-based sausage, my experience is that a plant-based sausage browns more quickly, but keep your eye on it. It doesn't have all the fats. So yeah, if you're using a plant-based sausage or even a chicken sausage, keep your eye on it. Don't burn your sausage. I like a little bit of char on mine, a little bit of brown, because I think that just really adds something. But yeah, I don't want a towering inferno. So I tried a little experiment today. I wasn't feeling great. Didn't think that I could make it all the way to the corner and back. I'm trying. I'm almost there. But didn't feel like I could do it. Was worried about getting home. So I thought, well, I'll just go walk in place out on my front patio. And I'm walking in place. And my have car goes by. And I waved. Yeah, just waved. And I getting some looks. Nobody in my town waves anymore. Yeah. It's not as friendly as it used to be. So I'm just waving. So I thought, I'm going to walk in place out here on my patio for 15 minutes, get my steps in. And I'm just going to wave to every car that goes by and see what happens. Anyhow, like the first 2 or 3, people are just looking at me. What's that crazy lady doing out on her patio? And why is she waving at us? Someone I waved at stopped their car, pulled over to the curb, and, are you all right? Yeah, I'm fine. I was just waving at you, baby. Everything's okay? Yeah, everything's fine. Have a great day. Happy New Year. Anyhow, then they took off, and that's how I spent 15 minutes of my day today. And it was so much fun. Have you ever stood on your front porch, front patio, driveway, and just waved at people as they drove by? Give it a whirl. It was super fun. What else did I do? I did some dishes. I have to turn that off. Well, turn that down, I should say. I'm dropping things. Sorry about that. Did my chores, my dishes, my laundry, my trash, all of those good things. Answered comments on YouTube, watched a little YouTube. Yeah, I was over there. I was watching my friend playing Vanilla Grandma. I love her. Hello, Carol. Anyhow, did all the things, and yeah, super excited about tonight's dinner. I love cabbage, and for me, cabbage is one of the vegetables that I can count on, you know, almost every day to be an affordable price. It is filling, it is hearty, it is good for you. You can serve it cold in a coleslaw. That would be great for New Year's. You can serve it, you can just put a little oil or bacon fat in that skillet and fry this up with some tomato, or with some, not tomatoes, with some onions and some apples and a little squeeze of mustard. That's delicious. Maybe a little drizzle of apple cider vinegar. That would be fabulous. But yeah, really good for you, really nutritious, really filling, plenty of fiber, plenty of vitamins. Yay, hooray. And yeah, I love the cabbage. Also said, you know, to promote good fortune and wealth in the upcoming year. Happy 2024. I'm ready for it, baby. All right. That is looking good in the neighborhood. Absolutely. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. Yeah, getting some color on all of that. Fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and add my cabbage next, because cabbage does need a little time to get tender, to break down a little bit. And you're going to think, wow, that's a lot of cabbage. Is your lid going to fit? It's going to fit. We're going to smush it all down. And it's like, you know, spinach or greens or what have you. I think it looks like a lot, but it cooks down to just a little bit of nothing. And that's going to be just fine with me. Yeah, I would say that this dish will easily serve 4 people. And look at, we're getting rid of some things out of my refrigerator. Nothing's going to waste today. Getting rid of the cabbage, getting rid of these tomatoes. I'm going to go ahead and pour these tomatoes right on top. All of that juice. Yay, hooray. Yippee Skippy. Oh yeah, it's got all the smells. It's got them all. Let's season this baby up. I have some Spike, no salt seasoning, and I love this. I think it is a great addition to all kinds of dishes. And because that kielbasa, that smoked sausage, is going to be the salty point in my dish, I don't want any of these vegetables to feel unloved. Yeah, I want them to be your best self. You can do it, and I believe in you. See, that's why I need all of you. Before I did YouTube, I was just a crazy lady in here talking to the vegetables all the time. I'm also going to go ahead and add some cracked black pepper. Plenty of that. And you know what? Let's go ahead and do it. Let's add some mustard. I love mustard and cabbage together, and I also love mustard and kielbasa together. So I think just a squeeze of this mustard is just, oh, don't make obnoxious noises, mustard. We're on YouTube. You got to get it together, baby. Have a little class. Anyhow, I think that mustard is just going to add a little something to it. It's going to marry in there with the juices from those tomatoes as they break down, and just give that little bit of pop, that little spicy delight. Yeah, whatever kind of mustard you got. I'm not a mustard snob. I got plain yellow because they did not have any Dijon or spicy brown mustard over at my Dollar Tree. Yep, and we're almost down to the dregs, but don't worry, because I prepped my pantry a couple weeks ago, knew I didn't have much mustard, and I've got some waiting in the wings. But I'll just tip it up and, yeah, use the last of it. Probably even in tonight's dinner. It's going to be spectacular. You could also add sauerkraut to this. But I am the only person in my family that loves the sauerkraut. So I'm just going to have mine on the side. I love fermented vegetables. Pickles, sauerkraut, pickled asparagus. Ooh, that's good. Okay, that's smelling fantastic. Looking even better. Here, let me bring you down to Funky Town and I'll show you. Okay, in my opinion, that looks so delicious. The smells. Yeah, that looks delicious and hearty and super yummy. Yay, hooray. I'm going to put the lid on and I'm going to let this just go ahead and get it together. Get all happy and together for about 20 minutes. All right, well, that's just going to sit in there and simmer away. All of those spices and flavors and vegetables just going to mix and mingle and do what they're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get some of my mess cleaned up here because I like to clean as I go. Yeah, when I'm done with dinner, I've got just enough room in the dishwasher for a couple of plates. And we're going to slot them right in, turn the baby on, and then I'm going to go to bed because, you know, I'm old and tired. But you know what it's time for? It's time for classic TV trivia. It's my favorite. So last night I was watching reruns of Cheers. And I love Cheers. I think it was super funny. For those of you who don't know Cheers or don't remember Cheers, it was a show back in the 80s. The 1980s, not the 1880s. I'm not that old. Anyhow, back in the 80s. And it revolved around this Boston bar called Cheers. All of the episodes pretty much took place in this bar where lives came together, where people had friendships. Anyhow, it had a great theme song. It ran for forever, it seems like. I would have to say there's probably at least 10 seasons. Anyhow, so Cheers. On Cheers, the bartender, the owner, manager, what have you, his name was Sam Malone. And he was a former baseball player for the Red Sox. Does anybody know what position he played? Let me know down below. Anyhow, what a great show. I like that. I don't spend a whole lot of time in bars. You know, back in the day, me and the ladies would get together. We'd go to lunch. We might have, you know, share a bottle of wine or what have you. Maybe a pitcher of margaritas, but we went for Mexican food. But, you know, we were pretty tame back then. Anyhow, yeah, I don't spend a lot of time in bars, but I like Cheers, and it was a funny show. I enjoyed it. So, just getting my mess cleaned up here. Almost time for dinner. Yeah. This is only going to take like 20, 30 minutes, even with your prep time. And I think that's a good thing. Okay, right. I got this bread over at my Aldi yesterday. It was $1.99 for a loaf. It's 45 calories. It's Loven fresh multigrain bread, 5 grams of fiber, 15 grams net carbs. But let me tell you, I had one slice for breakfast with an over easy egg, and it was fantastic. This bread is soft and delicious, tasted really good, did raise my blood sugar levels, and for me, this really worked out. Just wanted to pass that little tidbit along for you. I was super thrilled to have a slice of toast. Yeah, we take for granted like a slice of toast, but I've gone a couple months without one. And I was just thrilled this morning. Yippee Skippy. All right, it's showtime. And I am more than ready. I'm going to go ahead and dish it up. And, oh, that is going to be so good. There's a nice little tomato juice in the bottom. And this is super low carb, low calorie, not too bad on the salt. I can live with that. And there is plenty to go around. Like I said, I think this can easily feed 4 people and get you really good and full, satisfying. It's satisfying. Anyhow, there's my plate. I think that looks delicious. Yay, hooray. All right, my lovies, I gotta go eat dinner. Jeopardy's almost done. Be good, be careful, look both ways. I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching Crazy But Not Dangerous. Thanks for your love and your support. I appreciate it so much. Oh, the smells. I gotta go.